let me tell you something powerful today, something that can shift the way you deal with the people who try to break your spirit. We all encounter them. The ones who gossip behind your back, the ones who project their pain onto you, who try to make you feel small so they can feel significant. You can't avoid them. You can't hide from them, but you can learn how to rise above them. You can become unshakable. There are 3 ways to stay strong around hurtful people. And when you master these, you stop reacting. You start responding. You stop getting drained. You start growing. The first way is this: don't take it personally. Now, that sounds simple, right? But it's one of the hardest things to live by, because when someone says something cruel, your instinct is to defend yourself, to fight back, or to shrink. But here's the truth. People don't hurt others because they're strong. They hurt others because they're hurting. They don't criticize because they're right. They criticize because they're insecure. When you understand that their words are a reflection of their pain, not your worth, you stop giving them power. You stop letting their poison into your peace. Every time someone tries to drag you down, pause, breathe. Remind yourself, this isn't about me. Their anger, their judgment, their bitterness, it's a mirror of their inner chaos. So instead of reacting, you stay centered. You stay in control. Because when you refuse to internalize their negativity, you turn their attempt to break you into an opportunity to strengthen you. The second way to stay strong is this: guard your energy like your life depends on it, because it does. Your energy is everything. It's your emotional currency. You can't waste it on every critic, every toxic personality, every situation that drains you. You have to be intentional. You've got to decide who deserves your time, your attention, your heart. If someone constantly belittles you, questions your worth, or thrives on drama, stop feeding their fire. Don't argue with them. Don't try to convince them. Don't chase closure from people who are committed to misunderstanding you. You don't owe them your peace. Silence can be the loudest response. Distance can be the greatest defense. And let me tell you this: you can love people from a distance. You can pray for them, wish them well, but still protect your spirit. Because staying strong isn't about fighting everyone. It's about preserving your inner peace while they lose theirs. When you protect your energy, you take back your power. And here's the third way: use their hurtful words as fuel for your growth. The most powerful people in this world aren't the ones who've had it easy. They're the ones who've turned pain into power. Every insult, every rejection, every betrayal can either break you or build you. The difference is the meaning you give it. When someone says you're not good enough, use that as motivation to rise higher. When someone doubts you, let it remind you of your purpose. When someone tries to silence you, let it ignite your voice. You're not here to please everyone. You're here to become everything you're meant to be. Hurtful people test your patience, but they also reveal your strength. They expose where your boundaries need to be, where your healing needs to happen, and where your self-worth must grow. So instead of asking, why are they treating me like this? Ask, what is this teaching me? Because pain, when handled the right way, becomes wisdom. You see, strength isn't about being cold or indifferent. It's about staying kind without being weak, staying loving without being naive, staying grounded while the world tries to shake you. Every time someone throws stones, you have 2 choices: build walls or build steps. Build steps because those steps lead to a higher version of you. A version that's not reactive, not bitter, not broken, but powerful, peaceful, and free. So don't let the hurtful people of your past control your heart in the present. Don't let their darkness dim your light. You don't have to prove your worth to anyone. You don't have to earn their respect. You just have to keep showing up with grace, with focus, with strength. Because when you rise above the noise, when you stay calm in chaos, when you walk away instead of breaking down, that's when you truly win. That's when you show the world and yourself that no one's words can define you. Only you can do that. So today, decide this. You won't absorb their pain. You won't waste your energy. You'll use every hurtful moment as fuel, because you are stronger than their words, stronger than their judgment, and stronger than the storm. And when you walk in that strength, nothing and no one can break you. When you hear someone say something hurtful, when they criticize, gossip, or try to make you feel small, your natural reaction is to feel it deeply. You start to question yourself. Maybe they're right. Maybe I did something wrong. Maybe I'm not enough. But here's the truth. What they say is not a reflection of who you are. It's a mirror of what's going on inside them. Hurt people hurt people. It's that simple. When someone lashes out, they're expressing their own pain, insecurity, and fear. The words may come out directed at you, but the source of that emotion has nothing to do with you. Learning not to take things personally is one of the most powerful forms of emotional freedom you can ever achieve. It's not about being detached or cold. It's about understanding the game of human emotion at a deeper level. Most people walk around with emotional wounds they never healed from. A parent who didn't show love, a friend who betrayed them, a life that didn't go the way they hoped. And because they don't know how to release that pain, they project it onto others. They criticize what they secretly feel insecure about. They attack what they don't understand. They mock what threatens their comfort zone. So when you take their words to heart, you're basically letting their unhealed pain invade your peace. You're allowing their storm to dictate your calm. But when you rise above that, when you see their behavior as a symptom of something deeper, you begin to respond with awareness, not emotion. You don't get pulled into their drama. You stay anchored in your truth. Think about it like this. When someone throws mud at you, you have two choices. You can pick it up, examine it, and let it stain your hands. Or you can step aside and let it hit the ground. Most people pick it up. They internalize it. They replay the words over and over in their head until it becomes their reality. Maybe I am not good enough. Maybe I am too much. Maybe I shouldn't have spoken up. But you're not meant to carry that mud. You're meant to stay clean in your spirit, clear in your purpose. The moment you stop taking things personally, you start living from strength, not reaction. You start controlling how much access people have to your emotions. This is especially important when the hurtful person is someone close to you, a friend, a partner, a family member. That's when it cuts the deepest because you expect love, understanding, and respect. When it doesn't come, you feel betrayed. But even then, the principle remains the same. Their behavior says more about their inner world than your value. Sometimes people who love you the most still operate from their own pain, fear, and limitation. They might criticize your dreams because they never had the courage to chase theirs. They might question your choices because they don't understand them. They might try to pull you back down because your growth reminds them of what they've refused to change. That's not about you. It's about what your light exposes in them. The key is to separate your identity from their opinion. You are not what they say. You are not how they treat you. You are who you decide to be. When you define yourself from the inside out, external opinions lose their power. You stop needing validation. You stop chasing approval. You start operating from a place of grounded confidence. You become unshakable because you know your worth isn't negotiable. You can stand in front of anyone, no matter what they say, and know that you don't have to defend your truth to be free. Here's something to remember: the more you grow, the more resistance you'll face. Not everyone will celebrate your progress. Some will feel threatened by your strength. Some will try to test your patience. That's life's way of teaching you mastery. It's a test of whether you've learned to stay centered when the world pokes at your peace. Every time someone tries to hurt you, it's another opportunity to practice detachment, not indifference, but strength. Because when you can hear criticism, judgment, or anger and still keep your heart steady, you've stepped into real power. When you don't take things personally, you also become more compassionate. You stop seeing people as enemies and start seeing them as humans struggling with their own battles. You recognize that everyone's fighting something you can't see. The person who cuts you off in traffic might be rushing to the hospital. The coworker who snaps at you might be carrying stress from home. The stranger who insults you online might be battling loneliness or failure. When you look at people through that lens, you don't feel the need to react, you feel understanding. And that understanding is the foundation of emotional maturity. But make no mistake, compassion doesn't mean tolerance for abuse. It means you understand where the pain comes from, but you don't let it live in your space. You can acknowledge their struggle without accepting their behavior. You can stay kind without staying close. Not taking things personally means you set boundaries with grace. You don't retaliate. You don't shrink. You simply move in silence, knowing that your peace is worth more than proving a point. The mind loves to create stories. Someone says something and your mind goes, they don't respect me, or they're trying to embarrass me, or I must have done something wrong. That's the trap. You start living in the story instead of the truth. The truth is, most people are not thinking about you as much as you think they are. They're trapped in their own fears, their own ego, their own world. You're just the mirror reflecting something they haven't healed. So stop personalizing every tone, every comment, every look. Don't make everything about you. When you do, you give them control over your emotions. You put your happiness in their hands. Real strength comes from emotional independence, the ability to stand tall even when others try to knock you down. It's about having a sense of self so strong that no insult can touch it. When someone criticizes you, you can listen without absorbing it. You can evaluate if there's truth in their words, take what's useful, and let the rest go. That's wisdom. You don't have to defend yourself from every attack. because you're no longer trying to prove anything. You've already accepted yourself, and that's when you become unstoppable. Every great leader, every person who's achieved something meaningful has faced criticism, doubt, and misunderstanding. The difference between those who rise and those who crumble is simple. One group takes it personally and lets it define them. The other understands that it's part of the process. Growth threatens comfort, and people often react to that discomfort by attacking what they don't understand. But when you stay centered, you turn their attacks into affirmations that you're doing something right. Because if everyone agrees with you, you're probably not making an impact. So when you feel attacked, judged, or misunderstood, pause. Don't react from ego. Don't let emotion hijack your peace. Breathe, observe, recognize that it's not about you. Their opinion doesn't define your destiny. Their criticism doesn't change your calling. You have nothing to prove, only something to become. That's the power of not taking it personally. It keeps you in control of your inner world while the outer world tries to shake you. It allows you to move with peace through conflict, confidence through judgment, and love through pain. Your energy is your life force. It's what fuels your thoughts, your emotions, your actions, and your destiny. And yet, most people spend their energy like it's unlimited. They give it away to every argument, every critic, every drama that comes knocking. They allow people to drain them, to steal their focus, to occupy their mind with negativity that doesn't deserve space there. The truth is, you have to learn to guard your energy like your life depends on it, because it does. Everything you are, everything you create, everything you become flows from your energy. When you let hurtful people have access to it, you're giving away your power. You're handing over your peace to people who haven't earned the right to hold it. Guarding your energy isn't about cutting everyone off. It's about discernment. It's about knowing the difference between people who feed your soul and those who drain it. You can love people, care for them, even pray for them. But that doesn't mean they all deserve access to your inner world. Some people thrive on drama. They live for conflict, for chaos, for control. They feel alive when they pull others into their storm. But you don't have to attend every storm you're invited to. You can observe it, understand it, and choose peace instead. You can decide that your emotional health matters more than winning an argument or proving a point. Every time you engage with negativity, you pay with your peace. Every time you replay a hurtful conversation in your mind, you spend emotional energy that could have been used for healing, for growth, for building something meaningful. You have to get intentional about where your attention goes, because your attention is the gateway to your energy. Where focus goes, energy flows. If you keep focusing on the people who wronged you, you'll stay trapped in that frequency of pain. But if you shift your focus to your goals, your purpose, your healing, you start to rise above the noise. You start to attract peace, strength, and clarity. You have to treat your energy like sacred ground. Think of yourself as a garden. The people you allow in will either water your soul or trample your roots. That's why boundaries are not selfish. They're essential. Boundaries are how you teach people to treat you. They're not walls to keep others out. They're filters that protect your peace. When you set a boundary, you're not being rude. You're being responsible. You're saying, I respect myself enough to protect my energy. And when you protect it, you create space for growth, joy, and love to thrive. There will always be people who misunderstand your boundaries. They'll call you distant, cold, arrogant, or selfish. But those are usually the ones who benefited from your lack of them. They're not upset that you changed. They're upset that they can no longer use you as an emotional dumping ground. You have to be okay with being misunderstood, because the truth is, protecting your energy will always offend the people who are committed to draining it. Your job isn't to make them comfortable. It's to stay aligned with peace. Guarding your energy also means being mindful of what you consume, the words you listen to, the shows you watch, the conversations you entertain. All of them either feed your spirit or starve it. If you constantly surround yourself with negativity, gossip, or fear, don't be surprised when you feel drained and uninspired. Energy is contagious. The more you expose yourself to low vibration environments, the more it seeps into your mindset. So be intentional about your environment. Spend time around people who challenge you, uplift you, and remind you of your potential. Fill your space with gratitude, with learning, with stillness, because the energy you keep is the energy you become. When someone tries to provoke you, your power lies in your ability to stay calm. That moment of silence before you respond, that's your strength. You don't have to react to every insult. You don't have to defend yourself to every critic. Sometimes silence is the most powerful answer. Silence says, I refuse to give you my energy. It's not weakness. It's wisdom. It's the recognition that not every battle is worth fighting. You can't control how others behave, but you can always control how you respond. And in that response, you either lose energy or gain it. Choose wisely. Guarding your energy is also about recognizing emotional patterns. Pay attention to how you feel after interacting with certain people. Do you feel lighter, inspired, calm? Or do you feel exhausted, anxious, and heavy? That's feedback. That's your spirit telling you who's safe and who's not. Trust that feeling. You don't need a reason to distance yourself from what drains you. Your peace is reason enough. If someone constantly criticizes you, manipulates your emotions, or makes you doubt your worth, that's not love. That's control. And the moment you see it for what it is, you reclaim your power. You have to understand that your energy attracts your experiences. If you let toxic people dictate your mood, you'll stay in a constant state of reaction. But if you protect your energy and choose your state intentionally, you start creating life on your terms. You start operating from alignment, not anxiety. You start feeling like you, again, clear, focused, unstoppable. Every day, you have a choice. You can give your energy to what drains you or to what develops you. You can feed the problem or you can feed your purpose. There's a difference between caring and carrying. You can care for people without carrying their pain. You can empathize without absorbing. Too many people think love means taking on everyone's emotions, fixing their problems, or sacrificing their peace. That's not love. That's emotional burnout. Real love respects boundaries. Real love allows space for people to grow. Protecting your energy doesn't make you heartless. It makes you wise. It means you've learned that you can't pour from an empty cup. You can't heal others by destroying yourself. Sometimes guarding your energy means walking away from certain conversations. It means saying no without guilt. It means spending more time alone to recharge, to reconnect with your truth. Solitude is not loneliness, it's strength. It's where you remember who you are without the noise of everyone else's opinions. When you protect your energy, you stop chasing validation. You stop explaining yourself to people who are determined not to understand. You stop needing to prove your worth because you know peace is more valuable than approval. The world will always test your boundaries. Life will always send people who challenge your peace. That's how you grow stronger. Every time you choose calm over chaos, clarity over confusion, and peace over pressure, you raise your vibration. You teach yourself that not everything deserves your reaction. You teach your mind to stay focused and your heart to stay grounded. Guarding your energy isn't a one-time decision. It's a daily practice. It's choosing over and over again to protect your spirit from what doesn't serve it. When you guard your energy, you stop reacting to life and start directing it. You stop feeling powerless in the face of negativity because you realize that peace is not something the world gives, it's something you create within yourself. You learn to walk through storms without letting them in. You stop being easily shaken by other people's moods or opinions because you've built a foundation of emotional strength that can't be disturbed. Your energy becomes a shield, a quiet, powerful force that keeps you focused on your purpose and free from unnecessary noise. Every hurtful word, every rejection, every painful experience you've gone through holds potential energy that can either destroy you or develop you. The difference lies in how you use it. When someone says something cruel or tries to tear you down, most people internalize it. They replay it in their mind, they absorb the emotion, and they start believing it. But the moment you shift your mindset and start using that pain as fuel, everything changes. The people who have achieved greatness didn't do so because life was kind to them. They did it because they learned how to turn adversity into advantage. They took the very things meant to break them and used them to build themselves stronger than before. When people doubt you, criticize you, or betray you, you can take that pain and let it burn you, or you can take that same fire and let it forge you. You can turn their rejection into redirection. You can turn their insults into inspiration. Every painful moment carries within it a seed of strength, but that seed only grows if you decide to plant it. You can't grow if you keep watering resentment. You can't move forward if you keep reliving the hurt. Growth happens when you take what hurt you and make it mean something powerful. Instead of asking, why did they do that to me? Start asking, what is this teaching me? That question turns pain into purpose. Think of every challenge you faced, the heartbreaks, the failures, the moments you felt misunderstood or unappreciated. Those moments were not punishments, they were preparation. They were shaping your resilience, teaching you patience, building your emotional strength. Without those moments, you wouldn't have learned how strong you truly are. You wouldn't have developed empathy or compassion. The people who've hurt you may have introduced the pain, but you decide what the pain produces. You can let it produce bitterness or brilliance. Using pain as fuel doesn't mean pretending you're not hurt. It doesn't mean suppressing emotion or denying how it feels. It means acknowledging the pain and then transforming it. Feel it fully, but don't stay stuck in it. The goal isn't to escape pain, it's to evolve through it. When you face your pain consciously, it becomes your teacher. It shows you where your wounds are, where your boundaries need to be, where your growth is waiting. Every time someone criticizes you, they unknowingly point you toward an area of development. You can use their negativity as a mirror to see where you're still seeking approval, where you're still sensitive, where you need to reinforce your inner strength. There's something powerful about the moment you stop letting people's opinions define you. When you realize that their words don't have power unless you give it to them, you reclaim your freedom. You start using what was meant for harm as a tool for progress. That person who said you'd never make it, let that drive you to succeed. That person who broke your trust, let that teach you discernment. That situation that embarrassed you, let it teach you humility and resilience. Everything can serve you if you choose the right perspective. You have to train your mind to turn obstacles into opportunities. Life won't stop testing you, but your interpretation determines whether you rise or fall. Every time you face pain, you have a choice: complain or convert. You can complain about what happened, or you can convert that pain into wisdom, focus, and fuel. That conversion happens when you ask empowering questions. Instead of, why me? Ask, how can I grow from this? Instead of, why did they hurt me? Ask, what strength is this building in me? Those questions change your emotional state. They shift you from victimhood to victory, from pain to power. Pain can be one of the greatest motivators if you learn to channel it. The sting of rejection can drive you to sharpen your skills. The ache of betrayal can push you to strengthen your boundaries. The frustration of being misunderstood can inspire you to communicate with greater clarity. Every wound can become wisdom when you refuse to waste it. The very emotions that feel unbearable today can become the reason you rise tomorrow. Pain is energy, and energy can't be destroyed. It can only be transformed. The power lies in your choice to transform it into something meaningful. You don't have to wait for external validation to turn your pain into purpose. Some of the most successful people in the world started by being underestimated. They weren't given opportunities, they created them. They used every no, every insult, every closed door as proof that they were meant for something bigger. They didn't run from pain. They partnered with it. They let it sharpen their focus, deepen their drive, and clarify their mission. When you do that, the same experiences that once brought you down become the foundation of your strength. You'll notice that when you start using pain as fuel, the hurtful people lose their power over you. They might still talk, still criticize, still try to get under your skin, but it doesn't affect you the same way because you've shifted from reaction to creation. Their negativity becomes your motivation. Their doubt becomes your discipline. Their rejection becomes your redirection. You start realizing that every attack can serve a higher purpose if you use it right. It's like emotional alchemy. You turn pain into progress, wounds into wisdom, loss into leadership. The truth is, life will never stop presenting hurtful people or challenging situations. But once you learn how to transform pain into power, you stop fearing them. You start welcoming the lessons they bring. You start seeing every challenge as an opportunity to grow stronger, wiser, and more grounded. You no longer take their words as wounds. You take them as weight to build your emotional muscle. Just like lifting heavy weights strengthens the body, lifting emotional challenges strengthens the soul. Each time you refuse to let pain break you, you grow more resilient. Growth doesn't happen in comfort. It happens in resistance. Pain is part of the process of becoming unshakable. It stretches your limits, tests your patience, and refines your purpose. When you stop avoiding it and start using it, you unlock your true strength. You realize that nothing anyone says or does can define you because you've already defined yourself. You learn that pain doesn't mean punishment. It means potential. You learn to thank life, even for the challenges, because they push you toward becoming your highest self. So when hurtful people come your way and try to dim your light, remember that their darkness doesn't define your brightness. You can take every insult, every moment of pain, and use it to build something unbreakable inside you. You can choose to rise, to grow, to transform. Pain becomes your teacher. It becomes your drive. It becomes the silent power that carries you forward, not as a victim of circumstance, but as the architect of your destiny. Kindness is one of the most misunderstood strengths in the world. People often confuse being kind with being weak, being soft, or being easy to take advantage of. But real kindness, the kind that comes from strength, is one of the most powerful forces you can possess. It's easy to be kind when people treat you with love and respect, but the true test of character is staying kind when others are cruel, judgmental, or dismissive. The challenge is to keep your heart open without letting it become a target. It's about maintaining kindness without sacrificing your boundaries, showing compassion without becoming a doormat, and walking in grace without letting anyone trample your peace. Every time someone hurts you, criticizes you, or tries to provoke you, they're really testing how much control you have over yourself. Most people think power is about dominating others, but real power is self-mastery. It's the ability to stay calm, grounded, and kind when everything in you wants to react. That's strength. When someone disrespects you, the easy reaction is to fight back, to match their energy, to give them a piece of your mind. But every time you react like them, you lose a piece of yourself. You step down to their level and surrender your inner peace. When you maintain kindness instead, not out of weakness, but out of choice, you show that you're in control. You show that your emotions serve you. You don't serve them. Boundaries are what make kindness powerful instead of painful. Without boundaries, kindness can turn into exhaustion, resentment, or manipulation. You can be kind and still say no. You can care deeply and still protect your energy. You can love people fully and still decide that their chaos has no place in your peace. That's not being cruel. That's being clear. When you set boundaries, you're not pushing people away. You're showing them how to interact with your heart in a healthy way. People who truly value you will respect your limits. The ones who don't were only there for what they could take, not for who you are. There's a deep wisdom in knowing when to give and when to step back. Kindness doesn't mean giving endlessly until there's nothing left for you. It means giving from a full cup, not an empty one. It's about recognizing that your energy is sacred and that you can't help anyone if you're depleted yourself. You have to protect your emotional space with the same care you give to others. Because when you're centered, when you're balanced, your kindness carries real power. It's not forced. It's not performative. It comes from overflow, from peace within. When you learn to be kind with boundaries, you stop feeling guilty for prioritizing yourself. You realize that saying no doesn't make you selfish. It makes you self-aware. It's an act of strength to choose peace over pleasing everyone. Too often, people confuse people-pleasing with kindness, but they are not the same thing. People-pleasing comes from fear of rejection, fear of being disliked, fear of conflict. Kindness comes from love for others and love for yourself. When your kindness comes from love, it has confidence. It doesn't need validation. It doesn't crumble when it's not reciprocated. It stays consistent because it's rooted in who you are, not how others treat you. When you maintain kindness in a world that thrives on ego and conflict, you stand out. You become a reminder that grace still exists, that not every disagreement has to turn into destruction. Kindness has the power to disarm people. It shifts energy. When someone comes at you with anger and you respond with calm strength, it breaks the cycle. It forces them to face themselves. That's not weakness. That's leadership. It's emotional intelligence in action. You don't let the outside world dictate your internal state. You decide the energy you bring into every room, every conversation, every challenge. But maintaining kindness doesn't mean tolerating abuse. It doesn't mean staying silent when someone crosses a line. It means you can correct people with composure. You can defend yourself without demeaning others, and you can walk away from toxic situations with peace, not bitterness. That's a different level of maturity. It's knowing that you don't have to destroy someone to protect yourself. You can stand your ground with dignity. You can walk away with love still in your heart, not hate, because hate drains you and peace restores you. There's a strength that comes from knowing that your kindness is your choice, not your weakness. You can be kind to someone who hurt you without giving them access to you again. Forgiveness doesn't mean reunion. Compassion doesn't mean tolerance. You can wish someone well and still move on with your life. That's what it means to have boundaries wrapped in love. You're not holding grudges, you're holding standards. You've learned that not everyone deserves a seat at your table just because they once shared a meal with you. Maintaining kindness also means being kind to yourself. Because when you constantly give to others but neglect your own needs, you create imbalance. Self-kindness is not indulgence, it's survival. It's taking time to rest, to breathe, to heal. It's talking to yourself with the same compassion you offer others. You can't expect to maintain kindness outwardly if you're harsh inwardly. The relationship you have with yourself sets the tone for every relationship around you. When you're kind to yourself, you naturally start setting higher standards for how others treat you. There will be times when being kind feels impossible, when people test your patience, misjudge your motives, or betray your trust. That's when your kindness becomes a discipline. It's not based on how others act. It's based on who you've decided to be. You don't let their actions dictate your character. You remain kind not because they deserve it, but because you deserve peace. That's where true strength lies, in consistency. Anyone can be kind when life is easy. The real power is staying kind when it's not. You'll also find that maintaining kindness with boundaries changes your environment. People who respect your energy will rise to your level. Those who can't will naturally fade away. That's the beauty of alignment. You don't have to force it. Your energy does the filtering for you. The more you operate from calm strength, the more you attract peace and repel chaos. You become a magnet for healthy connections and opportunities that reflect your growth. When you choose kindness over reaction, you create space for clarity. You start seeing people for who they are instead of how they make you feel. You stop taking everything personally because you understand that most people's behavior is a reflection of their own inner struggles. That awareness helps you stay compassionate without becoming entangled. You can understand their pain without absorbing it. You can wish them healing without letting them harm you. Every act of kindness you show in the face of adversity becomes a silent declaration of strength that says, you can't make me become like you. You can't make me lose myself. That's the beauty of maintaining kindness without losing your boundaries. It keeps you in control of your spirit. It keeps you grounded in integrity even when life gets chaotic. It allows you to walk through storms without letting the storm inside you. Because in the end, kindness backed by boundaries isn't just about treating others well. It's about preserving your soul while doing it. Strength is not measured by how much you can endure physically or how much you can achieve outwardly. True strength is measured by your ability to rise above negativity, criticism, and the hurtful actions of others while staying grounded in your own truth. Life will constantly present you with people who doubt you, challenge you, or even try to bring you down. They may criticize your dreams, question your decisions, or undermine your confidence. Most people react instinctively to such attacks, feeling anger, resentment, or self-doubt. But the moment you learn to rise above negativity, you shift from being reactive to being proactive. You no longer let external circumstances dictate your internal state. You begin to operate from a place of power and clarity where no insult or criticism has the ability to shake your foundation. Rising above negativity requires mastery of your mind. The mind is like a garden, and your thoughts are the seeds you plant. If you allow hurtful comments, judgment, or gossip to take root, you'll grow resentment, anxiety, and fear. But if you choose to observe negativity without absorbing it, you plant seeds of resilience, confidence, and clarity. This doesn't mean ignoring reality or pretending that pain doesn't exist. It means choosing where you invest your energy, where you allow influence, and what beliefs you cultivate. Your mental discipline determines whether negativity destroys you or strengthens you. Criticism is often the most difficult form of negativity to handle. When someone points out your mistakes, doubts your abilities, or mocks your vision, your instinct may be to defend yourself, retaliate, or internalize the insult. But the people who rise above negativity have learned a simple truth. Not every critique is a reflection of reality. Many criticisms are projections of someone else's fears, insecurities, and limitations. They tell you more about the speaker than about you. By recognizing this, you detach from the personal attack and instead focus on what serves your growth. You assess the information objectively, take what is constructive, and let go of the rest. Negativity often comes from people who are themselves unhappy, unfulfilled, or struggling. Their words and actions are not always about you. They are about their need to feel superior, to control, or to distract from their own pain. By understanding this, you stop taking things personally and stop giving their negativity power over your emotions. You learn that your peace is more important than winning every argument, proving your worth to everyone, or gaining approval from those who are unwilling to understand. Protecting your inner state becomes a priority because it is the foundation for everything you do. Emotional control is essential when rising above negativity. It allows you to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. People who operate from reactivity give away their power with every outburst. They allow the opinions and actions of others to dictate their mood, their confidence, and their decisions. But when you pause, breathe, and observe, you create space to choose your response. You can respond from calm strength instead of from impulsive emotion. This not only preserves your energy, but also demonstrates maturity, self-respect, and resilience. The power of your presence grows when others realize they cannot provoke you into chaos. One of the most important aspects of rising above negativity is cultivating a supportive environment. Surround yourself with people who uplift, encourage, and inspire you. People who believe in your potential, who celebrate your victories, and who hold you accountable to your highest standards. At the same time, learn to distance yourself from toxic influences, those who constantly belittle, manipulate, or drain your energy. This does not mean abandoning responsibility, but rather being strategic about where your attention and emotional investment go. Your environment directly influences your state of mind, And maintaining a positive circle is a critical part of staying strong. Rising above negativity also requires a commitment to your purpose. When you are deeply connected to your goals, values, and vision, the opinions of others become less threatening. You develop an internal compass that guides you regardless of external circumstances. Negative people may try to derail you, distract you, or discourage you, but your purpose keeps you aligned and focused. It is the anchor that prevents you from drifting into self-doubt or frustration. By staying connected to your why, you maintain clarity and motivation even in the face of adversity. Another essential component is self-reflection. Take time to understand why certain negativity affects you more than other forms. Are there insecurities, past wounds, or limiting beliefs being triggered? Awareness allows you to address these internal patterns rather than projecting blame externally. When you identify your triggers, you can take conscious steps to strengthen your emotional resilience. This may involve personal growth practices such as meditation, journaling, affirmations, or seeking guidance from mentors. Rising above negativity is not a one-time achievement. It is a continuous process of self-mastery and personal evolution. Gratitude is a powerful tool in this process. When you focus on what you have, on the opportunities before you, and on the positive influences in your life, you diminish the impact of negativity. Gratitude shifts your perspective from scarcity to abundance, from fear to faith, from resistance to acceptance. It empowers you to respond to negativity not with bitterness, but with composure and perspective. The more you practice gratitude, the less external opinions can disrupt your emotional equilibrium. Rising above negativity does not mean isolating yourself from constructive feedback. The ability to distinguish between destructive negativity and useful criticism is crucial. Constructive criticism is meant to help you grow. It comes from a place of honesty and care. Destructive negativity is meant to harm, discourage, or manipulate. By learning to differentiate between the two, you can extract lessons from every interaction without being weighed down by unnecessary emotional burdens. Your discernment is a shield that allows you to learn from life while maintaining your strength. Visualization and mindset practices also reinforce your ability to rise above negativity. Imagine yourself as unshakable, grounded, and empowered regardless of external circumstances. Practice affirmations that reinforce your confidence, resilience, and focus. Train your mind to interpret challenges as opportunities for growth and setbacks as setups for success. This mental rehearsal strengthens your emotional resilience and primes you to face adversity with composure. Your mind is your most powerful tool, and how you program it determines how effectively you can rise above negativity. Persistence is another critical factor. The world will not stop presenting challenges, difficult people, or negative influences. Your ability to rise above is tested repeatedly. Every encounter with negativity is an opportunity to practice mastery, refine your emotional control, and strengthen your inner resolve. The more consistently you apply these principles, the more resilient and unshakable you become. Strength is not a temporary state. It is cultivated over time through conscious effort, discipline, and awareness. When you rise above negativity, you also inspire others. People notice composure, confidence, and grace under pressure. Your example becomes a source of influence and encouragement. You show others that it is possible to face criticism, conflict, and adversity without losing integrity or peace. By demonstrating this mastery, you elevate not only yourself, but also the collective energy around you. Leadership, after all, is not about controlling others. It is about mastering yourself and showing the way through example. In the end, rising above negativity is about reclaiming your power. It's about refusing to let the opinions, actions, or words of others dictate your worth, your decisions, or your state of mind. It's about creating emotional independence, protecting your peace, and channeling your energy into growth and achievement. Negativity will always exist in the world, but your ability to rise above it is a choice. You can choose to react and be consumed by it, or you can choose to observe, learn, and transform it into motivation. When you choose the latter, you step into a life of resilience, clarity, and unstoppable momentum, where no outside force can diminish your strength, focus, or vision.